the outside. Be aware of your foot placement. Okay, now I want you to rub your hands together. Okay, so now we just generated some friction, we generated some heat, so I want you to see if you can feel energy coming out of your hands, okay? So even though the energy is coming out of the center of the palm, it still is also coming out of your fingertips, okay? So your chi ball now, I want you to push in on your chi ball and see if you can expand your chi ball. See if you can feel anything coming out of the palm of the hand. And if you can feel it, I want you to make your chi ball just a little bit bigger. If you can't, then you keep it small. But if you can, see if you can expand your chi ball. And if you can, make your chi ball just a little bit bigger. If you can still feel the chi coming out of your hands and your fingers. Okay, now we're going to compact the chi ball. And now we're going to turn it over. And now we're going to expand the chi ball. And now we're going to turn it over. And now we're going to compact it. Turn it over and expand it. And turn it over and compact the chi ball. And then expand it. Compact the chi ball. Now, I want you to make sword fingers. So the way we do sword fingers, and now you're going to point at your palm and see if you can feel the chi coming out of your fingertips. Now, if you can feel, as you pull it out and push it into the palm of the hand, see if you can turn it. See if you can create a spiral in the palm of your hand. If you can, then pull it out and then push it back in. Pull it out and push it back in. Pull it out and push it back in. Now we're going to turn it over, and now you're going to do sword fingers with the other hand. Now one hand might be easier and the other hand may be be more difficult. Now this is something you should practice every day, is the sword fingers and be able to point the chi into the center of the palm. Because for the advanced students, we're going to be getting into healing energy. And this is how we're going to do healing energy. If you feel comfortable doing it, if you're actually feeling the energy coming out of your fingertips. So I want you to understand the chi is coming from here down your arm into your hand. Now the center is the center of the palm, but the 5 fingers are also connected to that chi. So when you do the sword fingers, you're concentrating the chi coming out of your fingertips. Now, this is the first time you're doing this. It might take a couple of minutes, but the more you practice this, you'll be able to actually feel the chi coming out of your fingertips. Okay, now, one hand is on the bottom, so you have a round table in front of you. You have a magnet in this hand. And you also have a magnet in the other hand. Now, you're going to put one hand under the table, and then your other hand is on top of the table, and there's magnets in both hands. So as you go with this hand, the magnet is going to make the other hand follow. So you have to imagine there's something in between the hands. So in other words, it's not direct connection. There's a barrier. And you have to be able to penetrate the barrier to get to the other hand. Okay? So this is an advanced Qi technique. So in this part, Vinny, we're just doing the hands. Later, what you're doing is an advanced technique. So we will be doing that later. But for right now, we're just doing this. Now, your lower hand should feel heavy. You should feel some heat in your lower hand. Turn it over, and you should definitely feel like you should feel something shift when you turn the hands over. Okay? Now the top hand is going to be guiding. Now the top hand is guiding, the bottom hand is following. And that's what I mean about a magnet, because so breathe out as you go around and breathe in as you come in. guiding, the lower hand is following. So Master Lee waited a significant amount of time before he taught this particular exercise because he wanted you to be filled with Qi before he taught you how to emit the Qi. Now I want you to be aware of your chest and your arm. So as you breathe out and guide the arm around, I want you to actually feel the Qi coming down your arm. So not just in your hands, I want you to feel the Qi in your arm. So when your body is filled with Qi, your mind is filled with light. Now we're pushing with the top hand, and I want you to feel your chest, your shoulder, your arm, all the way down to your hands and your fingers. So we're not just feeling the Qi in the hands, we're feeling Zhong Qi. Zhong Qi is called chest Qi. Z-H-O-N-G, Zhong. So Master Lee laid down in the street, put a wooden board on his chest, and he had a Ford F-150 drive over his chest. And I was appalled and scared, and I said, Master Lee, please don't do this. Please don't do this. Because he was already 70-something at that time. In fact, he was my age. And one of the crazy students drove a truck over his chest. And Master Lee started laughing. He said, "You are concerned." He says, "I was in prison for 8 years, beaten and tortured. Driving a truck over my chest, that's nothing." So later on, he showed me how he did it. And maybe later on, I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so now that we have our ball of Qi, who is your God? We're going to expand the ball.
Who is your God?
Now, the top hand is going to compress. Now, we've done this exercise 100 times, but you never knew exactly how to do it. Now you have a ball of Qi. Now you're going to expand your ball. And now you're going to collapse your ball.
Surrounded by angels up in the sky, or inside your body filled with love, never to die.
Now in this position, you have a ball this big. Okay, so we're not just doing the arms, we're actually collapsing the ball of Qi.
Angry with God because you didn't
know. And then you turn it over.
You had choices to go high or go low. Anger, frustration, resentment, shame, blame, and guilt are part of the program you allowed to be built. 7 deadly emotions are just thoughts that got stuck. I won't call you on your stuff, because you'll
So once you learn to collapse and expand Qi, this exercise changes dramatically.
It's your intention to be the holy.
Collapse the spine, expand the ball of Qi, expand your lungs, expand the spine,
Internal exercise.
collapse,
Spirits aware from the root to the ground.
expand.
7 seals connect the body to the mind, lifting
Now,
you up.
when you collapse the ball of Qi, your leg is collapsing. This leg remains straight. You're collapsing into this leg. And now, you're going to inhale. So this leg is going to straighten up. And you're going to expand your ball. And now you're holding a ball of Qi.
Unconditional,
Okay?
loving.
So the hands are no longer disconnected. The hands are connected.
Who is your God? Who is your God? Wrathful old man with long white hair, or a loving godparent with kind, loving care? How is your God? Vengeful, jealous, and punishing.
Now, to make it completely mind-boggling, I want you to imagine the yin-yang as a ball.
God, once a week.
And when you collapse the Qi, you're into one of the little dots in the ball.
Passion and mark passion.
So you are doing a three-dimensional yin-yang rotation when you do this exercise.
Filled with love, never to die.
This is not blocking and striking like they teach in Kung Fu.
Money and power? Please show me where they have created a flower. Are you angry with God because you didn't know that all along you had choices to go high or go low? Anger, frustration, resentment, shame, blame, and guilt are part of the programming you allowed to be built. 7 deadly emotions are just thoughts that got stuck. I won't call you when you're stuck. You'll just pass the buck. What gets you to God is not situation or circumstance. It's your intention to do the holy and divine dance. Exercise. Making your body, mind, and spirit all wise. Meditation and internal exercise.
Eddie, you're losing your ball.
To the ground. The 7 seals connect the body to the mind.
You're losing your ball, Eddie.
Higher ground.
The ball of Qi.
So how will you play out the rest of your life's movie? Your life's movie? Avoiding pain in your mind while smoking a doobie, with anger and fear stuck in your body in an ordinary human fashion? Or God's agent in action
Okay. Wow. So if you like what you're watching, and we're on, what are we on, YouTube or Facebook?
YouTube.
We're on YouTube. So if you're watching from YouTube and you like what we're doing, and you want to be able to do this every day, go to bluedragonqigong.org. Qigong is Qigong. bluedragonqigong.org if you want to join the class on a daily basis.
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat if you're paying attention to chat. Okay, start the music from the beginning. So this is called Do the Kidney Flow. Now I want you to sing with me.